You spoke,
You're gonna give me what I want. You know what it is. Give me what I want.
and I've listened and heard what you guys had to say. And also, I've read your comments.
You know what I want. I've been asking for it for years. Give me what I want.
And, by popular demand, I bring you the Alpha 911 EMS Emergency Alpha HUD. And before we get started with this video tutorial, don't forget to smash that like button as hard as you can. And be sure to hit that subscribe button below this video and hit that notification bell so you'll be alerted for any future updates. Alright, so let's get started with the video.
911, what is your emergency?
Alright guys, so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go to inventory just like this and find the Alpha 91 EMS version 1, add me in parentheses unpacking HUD. It might be in your received items part of the inventory if you purchase from the marketplace, which 99% of you did. In my case, just for demonstration purposes, it's going to be, up in this folder over here rather than down there. But it should be down there in your received items, depending on your Second Life viewer. In the Firestorm, it's down here. So what you're going to do is you're going to go find the unpacking HUD. You're going to right click and add it, just like this. And there'll be a sound. And then you're going to go and click anywhere on the unpacking HUD and just wait for the pop-up dialog box to pop up and then click accept just like this. So now after unpacking and detaching the Alpha 91 EMS version 1.0 add me in parentheses unpacking HUD, on your Second Life viewer you're going to go to avatar and you're going to find preferences. In my case I'm using Firestorm. It might look different to you for preferences, but just find preferences on your Second Life viewer. After you click that, you're going to go and look for something that says privacy. You're going to click privacy here, and after that, you're going to find something that says on there automatically accept new inventory items. You're going to click this one here, and where it says below log automatically accept items to nearby chat, this part is optional, but I recommend it. However, this step is optional. You can skip the step by clicking accept on the pop-up dialog boxes for days if you want, that you'll see in future steps, but it's up to you. Next, this is required here, so go to your Firestorm. In this case, it's for me because I'm using Firestorm. You're going to click under Allow Remote Scripted Viewer Controls, in parentheses RLVA. It might say RLV for you. And then the pop-up will say RLVA will be enabled after your restart. After that, you're going to click under Close, like so. And then go back to Avatar. After you click OK. So after you click OK, you go to Avatar, like I said, and you're going to log out. And then you log back into Second Life. Just like this. So once you log back in, you'll need to find the Alpha 91 EMS version 1.0 HUD Alphas unpacking HUD. It should be within the unpacked folder that was given to you after you clicked accept earlier. Right in this folder right here. So once you find it, you're going to go and right click it, like so. And you're going to go left click where it says add, just like this. Once it appears, you're going to left click the unpacking HUD. And on the nearby chat, it's going to state at the bottom that you have received a folder with 12 children unpacking HUDs. If you did the optional step to automatically receive new items in this inventory, you don't have to worry about clicking accept anymore. However, you didn't, then you must click accept on the dialog pop-up boxes up on the right hand corner. So whenever the Alpha 91 EMS version 1.0 HUD Alpha is unpacking HUD has given you all 12 children unpacking HUDs, you're going to want to find them in the unpacked folder that was given to you earlier in your inventory, just like this. Every single unpacking HUD should have an H with the curly brackets signifying that that's the HUD alpha. You're going to right click every individual unpacking HUD and click add, just like this. After that, you're going to go and left click the unpacking HUD, like so. And from before, since you already chosen to accept all new items into your inventory automatically, in your preferences, you don't have to constantly wait for a pop-up dialog box and click accept every single time. Just like this, on the nearby chat will state that you received a folder from the unpacking HUD. However, if you didn't do the optional step earlier in the preferences, you'll have to click accept on every single pop-up dialog box that's shown up in the right-hand corner, and never, I repeat, never click discard or decline on any of them. You'll have to accept on all of them. I repeat, all. But this saves you from a hassle. It might take about 12 to 14 minutes on average because it takes about 30 seconds to 1 minute per unpacking HUD. And once you stop receiving all the unpacking HUD's items, and the nearby chat, it should look like this here. Within your inventory, a 1 to 3 letter abbreviation with a number or letter at the end of it, just like this here. It's usually your telltale sign of what the alpha individual folder will look like. As you see here, all of these here, just like this. Alright guys, so after we get done unpacking all 12 children unpacking HUDs from this folder that was given to you, they're going to all look like just like this. They're going to have an H in the curly brackets just like this. That lets you know that these are the HUD alpha unpacking HUDs. Alright, so as you see here, all of them should have a 1 to 3 letter abbreviation with a number, letter, or word after it. Just like these AB ones here, they have an AB and some number after it. These ones, the butt ones and the bottom arm ones. These ones here are the back torso. They all have numbers after them. The entire section start with an E with just letters, no numbers afterwards. And this one here, just like the feet alpha, has just an F. All the front torso ones have an FT and some number. However, when it comes to the pectoral ones, like the fit and flex, as you see here, I'll explain later in the video what these are. And the FT neck, that's the front torso neck one here. Just like I said with the feet one, the H is for the hand alpha. Sometimes you'll have ones like this here. That's the lumbar ones. Get the knee one right here. That's the left back one and the left front knee. You got all these thighs, all these pelvis ones here, 1 through 8.5. And you got all the right side of the leg here with the knee from the back and the front, and the calves, the shins, the thighs, the hamstrings, and all the top arm alphas here, 1 through 9. Alright, so once it all looks like this, we're going to go to the very top. You see it says inventory. We're going to need to make a new folder, and it's going to be called hashtag or pound sign RLV, just like this. And as you see here, we're going to need to make a new one. But I'm going to delete this for you guys just for demonstration purposes. Let you know, that we're on the same page. So it's going to be right below Firestorm, hashtag Firestorm, my bad. And you're going to right click it and click new folder. All right, just like this. All right, you're going to type in there hashtag or pound sign RLV, just like this. You see hashtag pound sign RLV. You press enter. All right, and it should look like this. Right underneath the hashtag Firestorm folder, if you're using Firestorm, that is. Alrighty, so after we get done creating the hashtag RLV folder in all caps just like this, should just look just like this. We're going to right click it and we're going to click new folder, and we're going to type in here just like this, don't misspell it, Alpha 911 EMS, just like this. So Alpha 911 EMS should be spaced out like this. There should be no underscores, the only spaces. It should be no caps, only EMS is capitalized. A capital A for Alpha, a space, and 911 and EMS is capitalized. There should be no lowercase. Don't combine them all together in one word. It should be just like this. Then after we created the Alpha 911 EMS subfolder within the hashtag RLV folder, it's going to look just like this. All right, and we're going to go all the way down here, find the individual alpha folders. I'm going to click the top one and the very bottom one. I hold down shift while I'm doing this, and then I'm going to right click and click cut. Cut right here. Scroll way back up to the subfolder that says Alpha 911 EMS. We're going to right click and click paste, just like this. And your folder should look like this at the very beginning. So I'm going to click out of that. It should be 24 at least right now. Go to the butt alphas, do the same thing. I click the top one, hold on shift and click the bottom one. I cut and paste. Same thing with the bottom arms. But when you're doing this, you want to make sure, being very careful, okay? You don't want to click on something else in your inventory and put that in there instead, because if you do, that's going to mess up the entire emergency alpha HUD, and we don't want that to happen, okay? So be very careful when you've been doing this. Super, super careful. All right. So do the same thing here, paste. And just paste. So like so all the way down. You can see here, cut all the way up. So paste now. This folder right here, cancel. So here's here, paste right down. Go to the bar, all the way down to the C here, the torso, on the 65, and then paste. Go to this, go to 85, cut all the way up, and then go paste. Go down. C here, go down to the right side of the leg. Come on, cut, and all the way paste. After that, here's here, all the way down. Got one more set, and after that, after this one here, gonna cut and paste into the subfolder, and you should have 245 elements after you get done pasting the top arm alphas. And within the Alpha 91 EMS folder, there should be 245. So we're going to open it up and make sure we're verifying that every single individual alpha folder that is no modified permissions are all in here. And like I said, I'm going to be very careful when you're doing this because you don't want to put something else on accident. So they all should look like this, just like how you unpacked them. All 245 individual alpha folders. They're no modify, so we have to put them all individually for the hashtag RLV/RLVA to work. So after you do this here, you're all done and set. And on to the final step. Alright, after you get done placing all 245 individual alpha folders within the Alpha 91 EMS subfolder in the hashtag RLV folder, you're going to go and look for the Alpha 91 EMS Emergency Alpha HUD within the first folder that was given to you when you unpacked the HUD. You're going to look for this one that says Alpha 91 EMS version 1.0 HUD and manual alphas unpacked, and look for this one that says on there Alpha 91 EMS Emergency Alpha HUD. Right click it and click add. Now move my inventory to the right, and there you go. Now you got the Alpha 91 EMS Emergency Alpha HUD ready to go, and it's ready to use. As long as you followed all these steps correctly, it should work. And as long as all 245 individual alpha folders are all in here, then you should be fine and dandy. All right. Whoa, we were great success. I like. High five. All right. After you get done adding the Alpha 911 EMS Emergency Alpha HUD, you're going to find the areas in which you want to click on the HUD to remove all clippings and holes on your mesh body avatar. So as you see here, we're going to click on either the multicolored model, the right side panel, or the left side panel, okay? All right, and this here is a multicolored model, okay? So as you see here, on our mesh avatar, on our Cario body, see, for me, on my pants, I have the holes right here, and over here above the knees, and on the thighs. I've got some on the back hamstring, and on the lower calf right here. Also, I've got some on the left and right hand pectorals, upper pectorals of the chest, and right here on the armpit and the shoulder blade areas on the left and right hand side. Also, I got a few of them on the upper arms. So take care of that. We're going to click on the side panel here on the right side. So it's going to be entire legs for this. So when I click on it, it's going to go from white to blue. And I see in the nearby chat, it says on there, attach all over Alpha 91 EMS entire leg forced on, and see the legs turned on. So now I want to do the upper arms now, right? So when I click on this upper arm for the entire section, it's going to go from white to blue like this. And you see on the nearby chat, like I said, attach all over Alpha 91 EMS entire arm forced on. And on the multicolored model, it goes from multicolored to black. And when you click it, it's going to turn your body to gray, back to normal. So I'm going to click on this side and the other side. Now I wait until it turns back to normal before I click another one. And I click on the left side, wait for it to turn back to normal. And then I'll click on the right side, like so. And when it gets back from gray to normal, I'll click on this left side here. And then I'll go and click the one by the armpit area, right here, like so. After I wait a little bit, I'm going to click on these green ones here on the upper pectoral areas of the chest. Alright, so we got the outer shoulder areas and the upper pectorals areas taken care of. As you see here, they went from multicolored, rainbow color to black. And over here, we want to take care of these ones here on the lower shoulder blades and armpit area. So you see the blue arrow here and the red arrow here. This blue arrow will turn it 90 degrees to the right, and this one on the red side will be 90 degrees on the left. So I click it here. So I click on the side, and I can click on these ones here, since it lets me click on any part of the model part, the multicolored one. So I click it again onto the blue arrow. It rotates it one more time, and you see here that little orange area here. And I'll wait for it to come back to normal. And zoom a little bit on the cardio body so you can see here. I got a little bit more area here on the left side. So I click on here, wait for it to turn gray to back to normal. Click on this one, and then this little orange spot here, and then the light blue cyan color here. And as you see here, let's wait for it to turn back to gray to normal. And ta-da! Now all your annoying pesky holes and clippings will be taken care of after using the Alpha 91 EMS Emergency Alpha HUD. Just like this. Alright, so in the case that you wanted to take the alphas off, right? You want to detach these ones here, the left and right ones, the entire legs, and the upper arms, right? And also the ones on the left and right side on the shoulder blades and the lower armpits, right? So you get the ones here and these ones here, right? These ones here and these ones here. We want to put all of them back on, right? So all we gotta do is simply just find the area that we want to put back on, the clippings back on, that is. You simply click the area you clicked earlier, and you see here it turned gray and back to normal, right? And you click the next one here that you clicked previously, and at the nearby chat you see at the bottom it says detach Alpha 91 EMS BT 13.5 equals force, right? And now you click the next one, it says detach Alpha 91 EMS 12.5 equals force, right? And BT 14.5 equals force. And now you click on the left side, it says BT 11 equals force, because we're detaching these ones off too. They'll always say that in the nearby chat once you click it. But always wait until it clicks from gray and back to normal to click again. Okay? So I'm going to click on the red arrow, and it turns it left 90 degrees. And I click it one more time, turns it left 90 degrees. So I'm going to click on these ones here and these ones here on the right. So I'm going to start the ones on the left. So I click the one on the outer shoulder, wait for it to turn gray and back to normal. Once it turns gray, back to normal, I click on the next one. And if it turns gray back to normal, click on this one here. And as you see, like I said in the nearby chat, it'll always say detach whatever alpha you had on previously, okay? Now we're going to go on the right side and do the exact same. So it's pretty simple to take the alphas off. It's just a matter of having to click it again. But once we get done, I'll show you another alternative way of taking the alphas off. It's a little simpler than this, a little faster, but there's one catch to it, okay? And this is the last one here. All right. So say, for example, we want to take the upper arms off, right? Along with the entire legs in one big step, okay? So we take off these ones here and these ones here. See the upper arm and the entire legs. Instead of clicking these ones, we're going to click the reset button up here on the left-hand corner of the HUD. So once you click the reset button, these will turn from blue into white, okay? All right. Just like how the model turned from black back to rainbow, multicolor. See here? Now the holes are back together on the mesh avatar. So you got your holes and clippings back in your clothing, okay? Just in case you wanted to swap out your alphas, you could do it this way. All right, so now, as I said, there's one catch, right? I'll show you what I mean here. So you see here, if I wanted to click on the back lumbar on the entire subsections, it turns it from white to red. And as you see at the bottom here, like I said before, attach all over Alpha 91 EMS lumbar 1, and it's going to be taking off this area here with this alpha here, okay? So for example, if I had a clipping, obviously because my snowman sweater, you can't see it. But if, for example, if I did, it would take off this part here. And I clicked reset, right? And if I didn't want to click the back lumbar, go back to red to white. This would go back to normal. As you see here, if I want to reuse it again, this is the catch. I have to click it twice because it interrupts the uh, switch cycle. And once it interrupts the switch cycle, the simple fix is just to click it twice. And as you see here, it's back to normal because it turned back from white to red. And if I want to take it off, simply just click it again, and the switch cycle is back to normal. As you see here, I want to do the entire legs back again, right? But as you saw, I used the reset button. I have to click this twice because you see it says detach one more time because the switch cycle is interrupted. Therefore, I have to click it one more time, and ta-da! It goes back to normal. See, when you click the reset button, it always interrupts the switch cycle. Alright, for the instance in which you wanted to swap out the pectoral muscle alphas of the chest, just simply click this pectoral swap button right here. And once you do, a pop-up dialog box will pop up. It'll say on there, which pectorals of the chest would you like to use, question mark. By default, the Carioflex muscles alphas will be selected for you. So if you wanted to swap it out for the regular SL UV map pectorals, the CarioFit or the CarioFlex. It also gives you a close button if you just want to close it in a pop-up dialog box. Okay. So say if I wanted to go from the CarioFlex, right, to CarioFit, simply click the middle button here, and ta-da! Now it went from a red rectangle to a blue rectangle that says Fit on top, letting you know that it's the Fit array of alphas for the pectorals for the left and right, and the both nipples down here in the side panels. Alright, say if I want to click the pink one right here, right? It goes from pink to black, and down in the nearby chat, it's going to say on there FT 16.5 fit, right? Because it's the fit, as you see on top. Alright, and I click on this little green nipple here, right? On the left side, it says on the FT 20.25 fit. Alright, so if I wanted to take it off, right, on the fit one, so simply click this one here, turns black to pink, and as the body turns gray to normal, then click on this one here, black to back to green. As you see, it says fit on the nearby chat, and it's detached it because it's the fit. So I had to click on the button again. Say if I wanted to go to the regular SL UV map instead of the fit, right? Of Cario. Simply click the regular one, and it turns white from blue, right? So now it says the word regular, and I want to click this outer pectoral muscle alpha. It says just 15.5. It doesn't say fit or flex afterwards. Same thing with this one, FT is 16.5, right? Alright, say if I want to click both nipples, right? So simply click both nipples, and it'll say under FT 20, right? Meaning both nipples are turned on, and it goes from white to blue. If you take it off, it'll go back to blue to white. And I take off this one here, it goes back to pink from black. And this one here, from black back to its original orange red color. Alright, and if I wanted to go back to the flex ones, right? Just select this one here. It says CarioFlex after you click on the little button. Then ta-da! And now we're back to the CarioFlex, and it goes back to the red rectangle. Say if I wanted to click the both nipples, as you see down here, it says flex, because it's the corresponding one that says flex. So both these nipples are here. Obviously you can't see my little sweater, but as you see here, this is the FT17 flex, right? And I click on, say, the nipple right here, right? It says FT 20.5 flex because it's the flex alpha, all right, for the pectoral muscle. And I deselect them here by clicking them again. It says detach FT 20.5 flex, and this one here is detach as well. It says on there FT 17 flex, and click the both nipples here. This is FT 20 flex, okay? So say if you wanted to rotate the multicolored mesh model in the middle, right? Click the blue arrow here to turn to the right 90 degrees, or turn to the left with the red arrow 90 degrees, right? So say if we wanted to turn right, click the blue arrow, and it's turned it to its side. Click it again, it's turned it to the back. Say if we wanted to go backwards, and click it to the left. Click the red arrow, turns it to the side, to the front, to the side, and back to the back. To the side, and back to the front. That's simple. So let's say you wanted to minimize the HUD, right, from the screen. all you gotta do is simply just click the minimize maximize button right up here on the right hand corner. Just simply click this here. That'll minimize it, and the only thing that remains is the minimize slash maximize button. Okay, just like this. If we want to put it back up on the screen again, just click the minimize maximize button, and ta-da! Now your Alpha HUD is back up on the screen. Click it again to make it go away, and click it again to make it reappear. Okay, so say if we wanted to click on Alpha that was a little too small for your eyes and you needed to make it bigger, right? Well, there's a simple fix. All you do is click on this magnifying glass button up here in the top left hand corner. A pop-up dialog box will appear. It'll give you some sizes for 0.05, 0.10, and 0.25. Let's click the 0.05, and it seems it's a little bigger, but we need to make it just a tad bit more bigger. Let's do the plus 0.10. Now we can see it properly. All you do is click on the alpha, and ta-da! All these buttons on the HUDs will increase in size. Okay, say if I wanted to make it a little smaller, right, and decrease it by 0.05, right, and say I want to make it go back to its regular size and restore it. Click the restore button, and there you go. And if you're done with it, you just click close, like so. Alright. So you finished up using the Alpha 91 EMS Emergency Alpha HUD, and you just wanted to close it out, right, and just detach it. Well, all you gotta do, just simply click the red X up here in the right hand corner, and ta-da, it's detached. Okay, so say if we want to bring it back up, just go to your inventory, find that folder it was in. So it's in this one right here. Just right click it. Once you find it, click add, and ta-da, it's back up. Okay, so like I said, all you do is click this red X up here on the right hand corner. It'll detach it from your screen, no problem. Okay, and everyone, this is how you're going to use the Alpha 91 EMS Emergency Alpha HUD. And also, don't forget to leave a like on this video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what was your favorite part, or any suggestions for any future updates for Alpha 91 EMS. Alright, thank you for watching this video. Bye!